All right, so get this. John Krasinski, before Office prankster fame, got his start with a cream cheese bagel to the head during a college play.
What?
Yeah, a literal cream cheese bagel.
Oh, wow.
Talk about an origin story, and that's just the beginning.
Right.
We're going deep on John Krasinski today.
Okay.
Beyond The Office. Jim Halpert into blockbuster serious acting and even some controversies.
It's a path more interesting than you might expect.
Yeah.
We're going to look at what made it so unique and uncover lessons we can all learn from his rise.
So let's be honest. The Office, at first in America, wasn't exactly smooth sailing, was it?
Well,
Did your research touch on the fan reactions? Because I remember skepticism coming off the British version.
yeah, you're right. There was some pushback.
Right.
Diehards of the original were wary of an adaptation.
Sure.
But Krasinski's performance as Jim helped turn the tide.
Okay.
Instead of copying, he brought his own charm and wit.
Yeah.
It felt fresh, relatable, and funny.
He really made it his own.
He-
And speaking of making things his own, there's that story of how he almost didn't get the part.
Oh, yeah.
He thought he blew the audition so badly he was ready to take a different job at NBC.
Is that right?
Can you imagine?
I know that's right.
Wow.
He actually told them he should be a writer
What?
because he didn't think he was good enough to act.
Oh, my goodness.
Talk about self-doubt.
Yeah.
But it reveals something crucial about Krasinski.
What's that?
Even with all the success, the humility is still there.
Right.
He's still the guy surprised by his own luck.
Makes you wonder if that's part of what makes him so likable.
Yeah.
Here's a guy worth an estimated $80 million a lot from The Office, but he doesn't flaunt it.
Right.
He just keeps doing the work, trying new things.
Exactly.
Speaking of new things, let's talk A Quiet Place.
Okay.
What a departure from The Office.
It is.
Both genre and level of creative control.
Huge.
Did your research go into his decision to direct?
It
Was it a long-time goal or a spontaneous thing?
seems like it was always in the back of his mind.
Okay.
He directed smaller things,
Mhm.
but A Quiet Place was his first major film.
Yeah.
And the whole concept, the sound being deadly, apparently came to him as a new dad,
Oh, wow.
thinking about protecting his children.
Oh, that's interesting.
It's very personal, and I think it comes through.
I can see that.
Yeah.
Makes you think about the risks he takes. From beloved sitcom to high-concept horror, that's not typical.
No, it's not.
Did your research find anything about how he dealt with that pressure?
Definitely.
Because there must have been some doubts.
Absolutely. There were critics who questioned if he could do it,
Oh, I bet.
and the possibility it wouldn't land with audiences.
Sure.
But Krasinski seems to trust his instincts.
Mm.
He saw something special in this story and went for it.
Yeah.
Of course, it paid off big time.
It did.
A Quiet Place was huge,
Absolutely.
proving he's more than just comedy.
And that success let him take on more challenging roles like Jack Ryan.
Oh, yeah.
But that comes with its own controversies.
It does.
Playing a CIA analyst post 9/11 will do that.
Sure will.
Did your research touch on those criticisms and how Krasinski responded?
It did.
It's a tricky line, entertaining while navigating politics.
Yeah, the show sparked debate
Right.
about the portrayal of the CIA. Did it glamorize intelligence work?
Okay.
Some critics said it was too simplified, heroic,
Mm-hmm.
without acknowledging the problematic side.
Yeah.
But Krasinski's response is interesting.
What did he say?
He acknowledged the conversation's importance, but his focus was the story,
Okay.
exploring Jack Ryan, his motivation, struggles, and growth.
So finding that balance
Exactly.
between real-world stuff and storytelling.
Right.
And speaking of vision, there's a theme in his career I find interesting.
Okay, what's that?
Finding your people who share your passions and push you,
Mm-hmm.
it seems central to his success, both personal and collaborative.
You're right.
Did your research dive into that?
It did.
Because it resonates with a lot of people, especially creative types.
Absolutely. Krasinski is open about surrounding yourself
Right.
with like-minded people,
Yeah.
people who inspire and challenge you to grow.
Right.
And it's clear in his choices, he gravitates towards those collaborations.
Interesting.
Whether it's Emily Blunt or other actors and filmmakers,
Right.
he often talks about how those collaborations shape his work and encourage risks.
And it's not just who he works with, right?
No,
He seems to have a real connection with his fans, too.
he does.
Constantly interacting on social media, sharing behind-the-scenes stuff.
Yeah.
It feels like genuine gratitude for their support.
Mhm.
And in a world where celebrities can feel distant, that's refreshing.
Absolutely. It sets him apart.
Yeah.
It speaks to a larger point about his career,
What's that?
that success doesn't have to come at the expense of being a good person.
I like that.
He's managed to achieve incredible things while staying grounded, relatable and appreciative.
Yeah, he really has.
Yeah. You get the feeling he hasn't let fame change him.
Yeah.
And speaking of staying grounded, I came across something about his early days in Hollywood.
Okay.
Did you find anything about his struggles pre-office?
Oh, yeah.
Even with the cream cheese bagel, I can't imagine it was all easy.
Oh, absolutely. He almost quit acting.
Really?
Tons of rejection early on. He was waiting tables just months before Jim.
Wow.
Talk about a close call.
Makes you think, what would happen if he'd given up?
I know, right?
Underscores the power of perseverance.
For sure.
It's a good reminder. Setbacks are part of the journey, even for those who seem destined for success.
And speaking of perseverance, I found that story about his mom's advice so touching.
Which one?
When he was ready to quit, she told him to wait it out.
Oh.
Simple, but powerful.
Yeah.
The impact of a strong support system.
Definitely. And it's funny how support keeps coming up.
Right.
We talked about finding your tribe.
Yeah.
But it's more than that.
Okay.
He credits Emily Blunt as his biggest cheerleader, his rock.
Absolutely.
Did any of your research touch on how their relationship has influenced his work?
It did.
You really get the feeling their partnership is a strength.
Totally. They have this incredible synergy, both personal and professional. They've collaborated on several projects.
Right.
And you can just feel the mutual respect.
Yeah.
The admiration they have for each other.
It's good.
It's like their passion for storytelling fuels their creativity. And you're right, their happiness seems to equal professional success.
It's beautiful to see,
I agree.
especially in a world where relationships are often tossed aside for fame.
Yeah.
But back to Krasinski's career,
Okay.
there's another aspect we haven't touched on yet.
What's that?
His incredible range as an actor.
Oh, yeah.
We've talked comedy, the office intensity of A Quiet Place,
Mm,
but he's done so much more.
right.
He's done drama, action, even voice work.
He really has.
Did your research go into any lesser-known roles?
Yeah.
I think they show a fascinating side of his versatility.
Totally agree. He's like a chameleon,
Yeah.
shifting genres with ease.
Mm-hmm.
I was struck by Manchester by the Sea. Yeah. Good one.
Supporting role, but so nuanced and emotional.
Powerful performance.
It shows a totally different side to his acting.
Definitely.
And it's cool he doesn't shy away from those smaller roles.
Right.
It's like he's always seeking new challenges, growing as an artist.
That willingness to experiment, to step outside his comfort zone,
Yeah,
that's something special.
I agree.
He's not afraid to take risks, even if it means failing.
Right.
And I think that's valuable for anyone,
Mm-hmm.
regardless of what you do.
Absolutely.
It's about embracing the unknown, trusting your gut, and constantly striving to learn.
And it's not just acting.
Nope.
He directs, produces, writes,
The man does it all.
wears many hats and excels at them.
I know, it's amazing.
Makes you wonder where he finds the time.
Right.
On top of it all, he's a husband and dad.
Mm-hmm.
Did any of your research touch on work-life balance?
It did.
Something we all struggle with.
For sure. One thing that comes up is his work ethic.
Okay.
Incredibly focused,
Yeah.
dedicated to his craft.
But he's also fiercely protective of family time.
That's good.
He talks about boundaries, prioritizing what matters most.
Makes sense.
And it seems like he's found a way to make it work.
That's great to hear.
Yeah, even with a demanding career in the public eye.
It's inspiring to see that balance. You know, as we wrap up this deep dive on John Krasinski, I keep coming back to that staying true to yourself thing.
Yeah.
We've talked risks, collaborations, family,
Right.
but through it all, he's never lost sight of who he is, his values.
I agree.
Like, authenticity is his superpower.
It might be.
Did your research touch on how he's kept that grounded perspective?
It did.
With all the Hollywood craziness, it can't be easy.
Definitely a challenge in an industry that often rewards ego and self-promotion.
Right.
But Krasinski seems to deflect the spotlight.
Yeah.
Keep the focus on the work, the stories, the collaborators.
Interesting.
He rarely talks about himself in grandiose terms.
I've noticed that.
He's more likely to express gratitude,
Mm-hmm.
acknowledge his luck, maybe even poke fun at himself.
He does do that.
And I think that humility makes him relatable.
It does.
It's like, hey, I'm just a regular guy who got lucky.
Yeah.
And people respond to that.
It's like he's inviting us along, not putting himself on a pedestal.
Right.
And it brings me back to something you said earlier.
Oh, yeah.
Success doesn't have to come at the expense of being good.
Exactly.
He's setting a new standard for what a successful celebrity can be.
I think so.
Talented, driven, but humble and connected to his fans.
He's breaking the mold.
He is.
And I think we should celebrate that.
Yeah.
It shows you can achieve great things without sacrificing integrity.
Right.
Or losing sight of what matters.
Absolutely.
Success is multifaceted. It's not just fame and fortune.
I like that.
It's fulfillment in work, meaningful relationships,
Yeah.
positive impact.
And the best part is he's not done.
Not even close.
A Quiet Place Part 2 was huge, and he's got more in the works.
So much more.
Both acting and directing. It feels like he's just getting started. Did your research hint at any upcoming projects you're excited about?
He's kept things pretty quiet,
Okay.
but there are rumors of a fantasy film, a collaboration with a big director,
Wow.
maybe even a limited series.
Oh, cool.
The exciting thing is he's always seeking challenges, pushing himself creatively.
Makes you wonder what's next. What boundaries he'll push, what stories he'll tell.
So many possibilities.
The possibilities seem endless, and I think he's going to keep surprising us,
I agree.
defying expectations, and maybe even inspiring us to take some creative risks.
I hope so.
Well, as we reach the end of our deep dive,
Mm-hmm.
I'm left with a sense of admiration for John Krasinski.
Me too.
He's not just an entertainer.
Yeah.
He's a reminder that success can come with grace, humility, and commitment.
Well said.
And the biggest takeaway for me, and maybe for you listening, is that it's never too late to chase your dreams, find your tribe, and make an impact.
That's a good one.
Who knows? Maybe there's a cream cheese bagel moment waiting for us all.
Maybe so.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into John Krasinski.
It was fun.
Until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep believing in the power of your own story.